questions. So don't worry about that. Please don't unmute yourself because that would be, it would interrupt the entire thing. And there are a lot of people here. I see 52 and increasing. So I'm still hoping for people to come on video, but never mind. Anyway, so good morning, everyone. Okay, thank you, Raja Permane. You came on video. Okay, at least I'm talking to someone now. All right, great. So I'm Priya Sinha. I was in Kostav and I graduated in 2016. Now I've been in Mindtree for 4.5 years now. I was a campus recruit. So mine was the first, one of the first placements that happened in the college, right? So I joined as an engineer. I was a computer science student, and I joined Mindtree as an engineer. Now, post that, I remained in Mindtree for an engineer for about 3 years. I was promoted to a senior engineer, and I worked on projects. And luckily, I was I think I was good enough, so they stuck me around for the same project. They didn't just throw me out.
Yeah, excuse me if I could disturb you for a minute.
No. Please, yes, sir.
Okay, dear students, good morning, everyone. The speaker that you have today is none other than one of.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, our alumni, and we are lucky to have her as a mentor today for you. But why we decided, because you people will be more comfortable with her, and because she has passed the stage that you are now. You are anxious how to crack interviews or how to get into the corporate. And she at one time when I was teaching, what I remember, she was also scared like you people, but she has passed that level. So we thought that it would be a good opportunity for you to get her guidance. And thank you, Priya, for giving your time. You can start up.
Thank you so much, sir. So it's nothing to do with what I'm doing and, that I was a good student or anything. That is not why I have been invited to do this session today with you guys. The reason is Padi sir really likes me. We were really close. He mentored me into, getting this job, and he mentored me throughout my 4 years. And I was one of the most notorious students in the college. I shouldn't say that probably, but I was also the CR for the entire 4 years. My HOD and everyone really liked me, mostly because I didn't study and I did everything else. But that's just, I'm just kidding. All right. So like I said, I did engineering from Kostav. I was a computer science student, and I was hired by Mindtree in 2016, or 2015 actually. 3rd October 2015 was when I was hired by Mindtree. And I was still, to go my 7th and 8th semester. I was hired right into my 7th semester. So this is what will happen with you guys as well. You will start your placements at the end of your 3rd year. So once you're 3-year graduate, you will start your placements, and you should be prepared for it. Post that, there was an internal job posting at my company, and I decided to move to the campus recruitment team. So it is a very, very different experience coming from engineering background. And, I'm probably the only one in the huge talent acquisition team at Mindtree who is not an MBA student and is still doing recruitment. So I've done more than 1,000, 1,200 interviews personally, and I've handled over 10,000 or more interviews in the last 6 months alone. All interviews for graduates, engineering graduates, like much like yourself, but you're not a graduate yet. So this has been my journey in the last few years. Moving on, I'm hoping that you guys are all. Hi, Kumari Sunita. Thank you for coming on video. I really appreciate it. It's very weird to talk to a blank screen. So thank you. You can remove your thumb from the camera. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us again. Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. You guys are in the 1st year now, so you must not be very worried. Thank you, Balgopal. Thumbs up. So you must not be very worried about your placements right now, because it's 3 years from now. It looks far away, but let me tell you, time flies like anything when you're in college. You wouldn't know and tomorrow you would be sitting for your placements. It would feel like tomorrow you would be sitting for your placements. And I mostly want to talk about you getting into corporate from a placement perspective, because I have been recruiting people and I know exactly what companies are expecting from you, right? I have taken HR interviews. I have even taken technical interviews because I am from engineering background. I know what people expect and what you should be doing to get that placement, right? So it's not much. You don't have to go above and beyond to get a placement. You don't have to be an exceptional student to get your placements. You only have to focus on your curriculum. So you will, like I said, you will start your placements at the end of your third year graduation, right? So you finish your 3 years of graduation. You are in your fourth year, the seventh semester, and the placements are happening. That is on campus. It happens from the seventh semester all the way till your juniors are in their seventh semester. So 2 years is what you have to get your placements. I'm so sorry about the noise. There's construction going on, so if you can just ignore that. Okay. So the thing is, the time that you have during placements, you have options to go on campus, you have options to go pool campus, off campus. All of them are the same. I mean, I know there's dignity in getting an on-campus placement. You can proudly say, like, I tell people uh, proudly that I was one of the first people to get placed in my college, and it was an on-campus. Like, I got it on campus and everything. It was pool campus, but yeah, same thing. So, however, people shouldn't be disheartened if they are not placed on campus, because the only difference between you getting an on-campus placement and getting an off-campus placement is that you join the company a little later than your batchmates who got it on campus, right? So people who are on campus might join the particular company right when they graduate fourth year, correct? So you graduate your fourth year in May 2024, and then you might join the company in June, July, and so on. The people who will get off campus might join it in 2025, 6 months from after you have joined. That is the only difference. There is no other differentiation that is made between you getting an off campus or an on campus. So you don't have to worry about that. Everyone gets placed sooner or later. Everyone does. So you still have to be prepared, because the more interviews you give, the lesser chance you have of getting a placement. It actually works the other way, right? I'm not trying to scare you here, but the more interviews you give, that means you are getting more rejections, right? And then at the end, suppose you're I have personally hired people who have had 5 rejections, and I've not hired people who have had 5 rejections. The difference was the person tried to work there, to work really hard towards getting that final placement, because they know the rejection, they know that why they have been rejected. They learn from their mistakes, but most of the people don't. They keep making the same mistakes as and when they get rejected, and they just blame it on the company, or they just think that, okay, it's not for me, it's not meant for me, I'm not going to get a placement. Now, it shouldn't be like that. You should be well prepared. So, what do you need to be prepared for your placements, right? You need to focus on your curriculum. That's it. You don't have to go above and beyond what you want to do with your life, with your career, to get a placement. You only have to focus on your curriculum. Now, I'm hoping a lot of you are, all of you are a mix of all branches. So, in case you are from civil, mechanical, and all, I might not be able to help you as much. But if you are from any, CS, IT, electronics, electrical, circuit branches, basically, I might be able to help you actually. So, all you need to do is focus on your curriculum, focus on the programming languages, focus on, so don't take up the easiest thing. I have seen a lot of people, I'm assuming a lot of you have started learning Python, hoping that it would help you in your career. It would not. Python is an easy, lazy language. You need to start with what's tough. So start with C, then learn C++, then learn Java. So oops concepts, basically you have to be very good with oops concepts. You have to learn these programming languages, which is also part of your curriculum, so you're not going beyond, above and beyond, right? Next, you have to focus on data structures. These subjects are very important. Operating systems. You also should focus on networking. So all of these are okay. Someone asked me a question. Can you please hold your questions till the end of the session? I'll be more than happy to address all of them. Now, once you're done with all of these subjects, you can also do courses. Now, a lot of people in your career, if you ask your seniors in college, not people from corporate, in college, if you ask your seniors, they'll tell you, do an internship, do an internship at Tata Steel City and whatnot. They don't really help you. They don't really help your cause, because you are doing that internship for a month. Those people have more important things to do. They wouldn't focus on you, right? They wouldn't focus on what you need to learn. So don't focus on internships. Don't focus on things like that. It's good to have it. It's nice to have. There are things you should have, must to have, and good to have. Internships are one of the good to have things. It's not necessary, but it's an advantage. Now, what's should to have is, if you can do a course. Suppose you can take online courses or certifications in Java, for example. Now that you should have it, or it's also very nice to have, because that gives you an edge over other students, because you have your curriculum knowledge, and above it you have your course knowledge which you have done from elsewhere. Now, things like that really help you. The other things which come after your knowledge, so skills are very important. You have to have all of these skills, which is basically, like I said, your curriculum. Just be very serious. I know you're in college, you just passed out from your school, and you want to be all excited, have fun, do Saraswati puja in school, and get the idol and do all the puja and Bharati dance. All of that is nice, and you should do it. College days don't come back. I did it. uh, Principal sir. um, so I remember Malik sir. Malik sir was there in college on this one Saraswati Puja day, right? Me and my friends, we were on a truck leaving the college because we were getting the Saraswati Puja idol or Ganesh Puja, something like that. And he saw us. He stopped the the truck, and he knew me. He's like, Priya, what are you doing? Sir, Saraswati Puja. What are you doing? I said, we are taking a lift in this truck. He actually gave us his car. He said, are you crazy? You really want to go in a truck from the college? I said, it was leaving. We asked him for a lift. He was kind enough to give it to us. He said, take my car, go do whatever shopping you need to do, and come back. So he got down his own, I think it was a Bolero or a Scorpio. He got down his own vehicle. He gave it to us. We took it to the market. I don't remember the name of that place. We took it to the market. We did all the shopping, and I still came back in an auto because the idol wouldn't fit in the car. So we have done all that, and I'm still sitting here interviewing people. So having fun in college has nothing to do with you being a bad student or a bad example of a student. You need to focus. However, there has to be a limit to everything, right? There are things you should do to have fun, and there are things you should avoid. Don't go, above and beyond to get your fun and your, ecstasy to enjoy. Don't do that, because this time, like I said, would not come back. Like your 10th and 12th, a lot of people did not focus on 10th and 12th. They said, it's just, school. It's just school grades. No one actually cares about it when you get placed. They do. We still have minimum marks criteria when it comes to the 10th standard marks. It comes to the 12th standard percentage. We have minimum criteria. So if you do not fulfill, even if you're a brilliant student in your college, you just realize that, okay, you have to, get your placement, and you get very serious about your studies, but you did not have, minimum score in your 10th, you wouldn't be accepted into a company, with which has a certain minimum criteria. So again, but yeah, it gives you an edge. Now, so you have to focus on this time right now. You cannot waste it. It wouldn't come back, so you should have your fun. You should have memories. You should make, memories, etc. But you should also focus on what's more important, which is your career. Because right now it would seem like it's easy, and like I said, everyone gets a job sooner or later. The difference is what kind of job. Yeah, everyone would be paying you for something, but it depends on what kind of job you're getting. It could be a nice job at a nice company. I have friends. I don't think I was very focused on career and things like that, and I was a late comer to the whole party. But a lot of people didn't get placed when I did, and I think I was lucky enough, or I think I was just smart enough to get it. It was a bit of a luck and bit of smartness when I got the placement, and honestly I think I was lucky to get it. But it did not happen for everyone. Out of the 500 odd people who sat for the written test, only 8 people got the placement at the end of it. So that's just very weird when you don't get it. Again, you would think that okay, it would be a practice for you, you could get it in the second run, but like I said, it is all downhill. So the sooner you get it, the better. So what can you do is prepare yourself. Now the other things that matter, I have rejected people. I'm not very proud of saying this, but I don't you know feel, I don't want to apologize for it, because I have rejected people based on their attitude so many times. Because I'm in a room of people, just people sitting to give an interview. Now I might look young to them, or I might look like a student to a lot of them, because I was in college in 2016, right? Namaste auntie. So it is nice, right? Now, but they think that okay, oh, she's young, she doesn't know anything, so they'll be all in attitude, like they'll just lean back and relax at an interview. No, you cannot do that. You have to be serious about something you seriously want to get. If you want to achieve something, be serious about it. So I told this bunch of people, like, okay, guys, I am supposed to be taking your interview and I'm standing right here. The least you could do is sit up straight, because they were all leaning in their chairs, right? So this one girl did not. She just like, she rolled her eyes and I saw it. She rolled her eyes and I saw it. And she was a selected talent. I had already taken the GD. I was also taking group discussions. So I had taken the GD. I had selected her. I rejected her in that 1 second. She rolled her eyes at me and I rejected her. Because that kind of attitude where you are not, you're a subordinate, but you're not willing to do things your superior asks you, or people above you who are giving you instructions ask you to do. If you're not willing to do it, you don't have a place there, right? So and then there have been people who just got up and came to the interview, like they wore formal clothings, right, for their interview, but it's all crushed and it's dirty, and they haven't groomed themselves. That means you're not serious. If you cannot take 5 minutes to shave your beard, or 2 minutes to comb your hair, if you cannot spend that much time, it means that you're not serious, right? So we don't want people like that. We don't want people who are not serious about this interview, because we know they wouldn't be serious about their jobs. So you have to focus on those things. Courtesy takes you a long way. Sit and greet people, be nice to them. That takes you a long way. Put an impression on the other person, that okay, this person has a nice attitude, a nice personality. All of that really matters. I have found myself writing. So we write a feedback for the interviews we take, right? I have found myself writing down to earth, good attitude, nice personality, things like that. I've written that in the HR interviews, because those things matter to make an impression. Even if you're not brilliant, those things still matter. Now, one of the most important things are communication, right? Communication is very, very important. If you have mother tongue influence, which a lot of you might not, but a lot of you might, if you come from mother tongue influence, is basically when you speak English or other language and the other accent comes back. So when you're speaking, English and you roll your tongue or something, so it means you have mother tongue influence. It shouldn't be too much. A little bit is accepted because you grew up speaking Bengali all your life. So Bengalis have, they roll their tongues, which is common. Even in Odias, it is very common. I've been in Odisha for 4 years. I know it is common. So a little bit of that is accepted. But if you have a very heavy mother tongue influence, that is a problem. So you need to start working on that. You cannot say H, it's H. You cannot say yem, it's M. Correct? So things like that. These might seem little things, and you might see people working on corporate who still have accent like that. They are probably lateral hires who have had 10, 12 years of experience. You guys don't have that. You're freshers. So you need to work on your communication, like really well. So now English is not our first language, right? It's not our first language. So we have to work towards it. What did I do to get a hold of my English, or, to be sitting in front of all these 68 people and talking without getting nervous? Is that I practiced. I have taken sessions where there are 5,000 people in the session and I'm speaking to them. Or I've done, sessions where in person, pre-placement talks, where there are people in front of me, hundreds and thousands of people sitting for an interview, and I introduce Mindtree to them. I introduce myself, I introduce my team, talk about what we are expecting from them as, when they do the placements. So where did I get all of this? Is when I was doing all those tech fests and Teachers Day program and everything at college. So Pari sir might remember me, and Ayushi. Ayushi Thakur and I used to do it. She was a CR for ETC branch, and I was the CR for CSE. And I we used to do it often. Go on the stage, talk to people, or even in the classrooms. Just talk to a bunch of people all the time. So that gives you confidence, and over the long run, it gives you uh, a certain hold on your communication skills. Now I'm focusing a lot on communication because you might be very good at technical skills, and you might think that it would take you through, like you would be able to clear your placements, and you would be able to bag a job, but it is not as easy. Just because you have technical skills doesn't mean you'll be able to conduct yourself in a corporate environment. So you need to have that communication. uh, you know you need to have articulation. You need to have uh, you need to be able to comprehend what other people are saying to you and articulate your answers. Now, which is, like I said, you need to practice. So I'm going to suggest all of you to start speaking more often in English, as often as you can. If you find friends who are, now again, people will make fun of it sometimes. Like, oh, Angrez chale gaye, isko chhod gaye. Things like that. They say it. You know, I had a friend in South India, right, when I was in college, and he wouldn't understand Hindi. So I would talk to him in English all the time. And that helped me improve my English. Now, girls in the hostel would say, oh, Priya is all fancy. She speaks in English. They would make fun of me sometimes. And I knew it and I didn't care. Like, okay, I don't really care about what you're saying. My friend doesn't understand Hindi, so I have to speak to him in English. And on top of that, I'm able to communicate with someone in this my second language, and it's just better for me because I'm improving in it every day. I speak to him, I know where I'm hesitating or what words I don't know, so I'm always learning. So you need to do that. You need to communicate in English, which is very, very important. I cannot stress on it enough because I've taken HR interviews and there are people who have scored 5 on 5 in their technical interviews, and I haven't been able to, select them. Why? Because they were not able to speak to me. They were only able to speak to the technical panel because they knew the technical answers to the questions. They didn't know, how to speak to a person in English, which is very important. So, well, these are a few things overall which you should focus on. I don't think I'm missing out on anything. I don't think I've told you any rocket science, projects to do to get a placement. I think it was pretty easy for you to, just go through your curriculum subjects. Just focus on, I cannot tell you what will be the placement scene or scenario 4 years from now. I don't know that. Rather 3 years from now, when you would be sitting for your on campus, I don't know what would be in demand, but I know oops and all are not going anywhere. Even if Python becomes a big deal, then you still need to know your basics, which is oops. Now Python has all of the codes and everything in functions, in bundles, like, right? There are already library functions there. Now you might not be aware of it since you are just school graduates now, right? You just entered your college. Am I right? You graduated your school 2020, correct? No?
Yes,
2019.
ma'am. 2020,
Okay,
ma'am.
2019 and 20. Okay.
No,
2020.
Okay.
like
You graduated. Let's keep it that way. Now, so Python and all they are being 2013. Someone graduated 2013. Kumari Sunita, I would like to talk to you after in my Q&A session. Okay. All right. So it's so always focus on what's tough. I know it's you have time right now to focus on what is tough and get yourself good at it. Don't pick the easy things. You have your whole life ahead of you to pick on easy things, to learn things that are easy, to learn things you can learn in like 2 sessions of a course. Don't do that. Push yourself a little bit to learn what's complicated, what's not common, what's the knowledge which people don't have but is in demand. So you cannot just pick a language which is obsolete. No one uses it, but you think, okay, no one else knows it, I'll know it. No, it doesn't work like that. It should be in demand, right? So people need you to know it, or people are looking for other people with that knowledge. You then go ahead and study it. Don't just study something obsolete for the for to have an upper hand on that thing, on that subject. It doesn't make sense. uh Anything else that I'm missing? I don't think. I think I've covered mostly everything. So someone said, okay. All right. So Q&A questions rounds, right? So let's hear your questions. Whatever doubts you have, if you want to know more about me or about hiring, placements, companies, what you actually do in an office, things like that. If you want to know, you can shoot your questions. We have a better part of half an hour now to answer all your questions. Kumari Sunita, yes, okay. Schooling in 2013. What do you mean when you say schooling in 2013? Did you graduate in 2013? Sunita, can you come? Can you unmute yourself, please? Kumari Sunita or Subhashi Samantarai?
Yes, wait a second.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So okay, Subhashri, you tell me. You said school in 2014. What do you
Yes,
mean by
ma'am.
that? You graduated 12th standard in 2014.
No, ma'am. 12th to 10th.
10th you did in 2014.
Yes, ma'am. 2014 to 15.
And what year did you do your 12th?
12th, ma'am. 18 to 17 to 18.
Okay, so
12th.
you have a gap there. Okay, all right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Kumari Sunita. What about you?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good
First of all,
morning. Good morning.
actually, I completed my school in 2011 and plus two in 2013, and diploma I completed in 2015.
Okay.
Okay, and then I tried from means little jobs in one or two companies, but it's not for long term. It's only for short term. Okay.
So now you are in BTech or you're doing masters. What are you doing?
No, BTech only. I
Okay.
was undergraduate, so I want to complete my graduation.
That's very nice. I really appreciate it. Like, applause to you and Subhashri for even if you skip school after that and
Yes,
you
ma'am.
study when you came back to graduate, that's a big deal. I think it's great that you guys are doing it.
Yeah, and one more thing, and I did 1 year apprenticeship training in Bharat Electronics Limited in Bangalore.
Okay, nice. I work in Bangalore. I've been in Bangalore for 4 years now.
Yeah, even I'm also staying in Bangalore from last 2 years.
Okay, great.
Recently. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sunita. Okay, next question. Ma'am, what are the things we should prepare to get into product-based companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google? 10th and 12th percentage matter there, or they look for skills. Bal Gopal Behra, this is your question. Yes, 10th and 12th percentage matters, but every company has a different criteria. So, like Mindtree has 60%, right? You need to have 60% or 6 CGPA in your 10th and 12th to be eligible for a placement. Some companies keep it at 50, others keep it at 55. So you need to see which company you are aiming at and what is their criteria. Need to research on that or ask your seniors who might be working there. Um, you can contact people on LinkedIn, which is amazing for networking with people in the corporate. You can ask them questions, so don't bug them, don't send them 20 messages. Send them a message once every 1 or 2 weeks and they would reply. Yes, 10th and 12th percentage matters, but again it depends on the company what kind of percentage they are looking at. It's different for all the companies. Vijesh Kumar Moharana, please tell me how to develop software. How to develop a software? That's your question. That's a very very vague question, Vijesh, and
Please tell me.
that that is like a 10-year. You know, it takes 10 years or something to develop a software. It's okay. Anyway, I'm just kidding. You need to start working on your programming skills. So pick a language,
Yes.
start working on it. Start from the
And
lower,
coding.
start from C, then go to C++, then learn Java, and then opt for something else, maybe Python or other languages. What is the basic package of software companies, Subhashish? Uh, Package, it depends again on companies to companies. There are companies offering you 3.5, 3.25 lakhs per annum, 4 lakhs, uh, all the way. If you're really brilliant, Infosys and all have these special tests they do. So if you are able to clear it, which is a certain percentage of the entire population that sits for their exam, they give them 8 lakhs and all. But average, I would say 4 lakhs is what you would get right now. But again, 3 years from now, it would look more like 6 lakhs, I think. How would you describe your work ethic? I think I'm very ethical when it comes to work, Prithviraj. Uh, I, I like to be on time, not at work. I mean, when I am given a job and I'm supposed to do it at a certain time limit, I like to do it. If I don't, I get anxiety. I get all anxious because I'm not able to do something, especially when it is dependent on someone else. I'll bug the hell out of them. I'll keep pinging them, give me this, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Because I have to process that, data and give someone else the data. Now, so you can do that. When you're in corporate, you can bug people unless they do the task. If you have given them a deadline, you bug them. So I don't like being bugged. So I do it on time. If I have promised my boss that, Chris, I'll do it at, I'll give it to you at 10, I would achieve it by 9. I would do it. I cannot, because I get anxious actually. I get anxiety if I'm not able to do it. I'm also honest when it comes to it. My boss just yesterday asked me, Priya, did you send this, job description to this one particular person? I was supposed to send it day before yesterday and I forgot about it because I had a lot of work and I totally forgot about it. I could have just told him that, yeah, I did, and then send it. I could have lied to him. He wouldn't know. He is not going to talk to him. I said, sorry, Chris, I forgot about it and I'll send it now.
Ma'am, please says Hindi. Ma'am, please.
Hindi. You want me to talk in Hindi?
Hindi में.
Why is
Yes,
that so?
ma'am. Hindi.
Why is that so? You don't understand English, is it?
Ma'am, I can. I can do something.
You have to
English.
work on English then, Subhashri, because when you are going
Yes,
for an
ma'am.
interview, no one will speak to you in Hindi. No one.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm listening to try. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Aditya Panigrahi, how to deal with nervousness in an interview. Uh, okay. When I was in college, I'll tell you about this. And I was on stage talking about something. My hands would shiver every time I would be on stage or in front of an audience. My hands would shiver, my heart would be palpitating. I could hear my heartbeat, right? And I would be very, very nervous. Eventually I got over it because I did it a lot of times. As many times as I did it, I got over the nervousness. It became usual for me. Like right now, there are 75 people, and I'm not prepared for this session. Sir told me about this, 4 days back, but I had so much work that I couldn't prepare anything. I wanted to do a PPT and do nice things for you guys, but I had zero time at all. I was working till 9:30 at night last night, so I couldn't. I have missed 5 calls right now on my laptop, other laptop, and okay, all right. So, but yes, I think nervousness is a part of learning, and you would get over it as soon as you start practicing. So, if you think you are shy, talking to people in English, start talking to yourself in a mirror. It would look crazy if someone caught you like that. Close the door. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Start watching English movies which have depth, and start reading. I think English movies and series and things like that, where you are able to, understand it, you can use subtitles. You can use subtitles if you want, but it's uh, it's always nice to practice. That is what will get you there. I was not born with my English. My first language is Hindi. My parents don't understand English. Yeah, my mom understands a little bit because she's a teacher, but she's again a Hindi and Sanskrit teacher, so she understands a little bit. Not my dad doesn't understand any English at all, so I wasn't born with it, right? Uh, but I learned, I practiced, I worked a lot on my grammar. So work on your grammar. That is very important. If you have good grammar, you have good control on your English. I know I will never say, did he went. I will never say that. There's no way I'll use two past tense together. If you guys don't understand what's the problem with did he went there, you have to work on your English. If you did not understand what was the problem with that sentence. Okay. How, ma'am, some words on full stack developer. Subhashish. Okay. Full stack development is in right now. People are looking at, S dates and full stack developers. You can become a full stack developer only when you learn coding. So you have to learn how to code. You have to learn how to test. Now, what does a full stack developer do? They code something and they also test it end to end. So they are in because suppose I'm a client, right? I have a company and I want people to handle my product. So some service company. Now I would want full stack developers because I don't have to hire developers and testers and everyone separately. I can hire one full stack developer. He can do the development. He can do the testing, all of it. So you have to start from scratch. Again, don't aim ahead of yourself. Don't think about doing things which you might be doing in. So focus on small things. Casey Sahu, can you stop presenting your screen, please? Thank you. Okay, so start from scratch. Start learning OOPS language. Start learning Java. Start learning Python and other. Start learning HTML, CSS. Uh, Start mobile development and then go to web development, things like that. There are phases you need to cross before you can reach full stack development. um, during your college time, have you ever thought that this is not happening, should I drop? Raja. Okay. Did I ever think I should drop it? No, I think I was too laid back. I was never very, very serious or scared about my career or my, uh, studies, because I knew this from the beginning that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to clear BTech. We have so many engineers in India, so many. There is something they must be doing, right, to get the degree. So I knew if there are so many people, there are fewer people working in NASA. There are so many more working in IT companies, right? So that means it is easy. That is the mentality I had. I still do. I think BTech is very easy. All you need to focus is on your curriculum. You don't have to do anything above that. You don't have to go an extra mile to clear your BTech. You don't. And best, on top of that, you get to clear your backlogs. I mean, 12th standard, if you have a backlog, you drop a year, right? You don't go to college. You don't join a college. You drop a year. You give your 12th standard again with someone else, your juniors. But in college, you can easily, if you have backlogs in first year, you can easily go to second year and then clear it while you're still studying 12 second year. So I think that is very, very easy, because I know it sounds I am I get to say it because I have done graduation in computer science engineering, so I get to say it is easy. As long as you focus on your curriculum, you can clear it. There were times when I thought that I might not clear one particular subject. I never thought I should drop it, the whole thing. Engineering. I never thought I should drop engineering. But there were a few subjects you know, uh, like network theory. Oh my God, I was so scared of network theory. Maths 3, Maths 3, M3. I was very scared of it. But no one tells you that M2 is much more tougher than M3. Maths 2 is much more, it's tougher, period. Because people don't say it, because you get more backlogs in M3 for some reason, or I think it's just that people have been saying this for so long that everyone is already scared of studying M3, and they just like, okay, forget it, I'll fail. So you need to, there will be times when you think about that for a subject. Never think about you should drop your entire career. Never give up, because you get chances to redo this. You get backlogs, you get retries, you have exams, you have all of it, to retry. The reason you have retrials, so that you don't give up. So don't drop, don't give up. How to develop my English skills just like you, Pragya. Thank you, Pragya, for saying I have nice English skills. Again, practice. Talk to people in English, you'll be fine. Watch English shows, English movies, documentaries, etc. Which technology currently are you working, Smita? I am a campus recruiter. I hire people. That's what I do. I take interviews, I hire people, I manage placement drives. That's what I do. That HR ma'am that comes to your college and you're scared of her because she looks all bossy and strict. That's me. Okay. Is HTML working nowadays? Yes, of course. HTML, CSS, people are still using that for development, web development. What is OOPS? OOPS is object oriented programming. That's what OOPS is. You need to, which is, C++, Java. If you learn that, you'll know. What types of projects we should do to make our resume look deserving? Which technologies had you worked during your college days? Okay, like I said, work on programming languages. If you can get a certification, that is great. You can do SQL. You can do C, C++, Java, SQL, HTML, CSS, even Python for that matter, to get an advantage. So these are the things you could do to make your resume look nice. Web designing. What is your question, Vijesh? I don't understand. Just says, ma'am, website design. what is my working relationship with my previous or current colleagues? Huh. I think it's very nice. I think my folks like me. I'm a friendly person. So all you need to have is a good helping attitude, and everyone will like you. So when someone needs your help, help them. When you need help, they'll help you. Uh, be nice to people when they're helping you, especially because I've seen people where, I'm helping someone and they're acting like I should be grateful to be able to help them. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense when I say it. So always be grateful. If as long as you're grateful and you're nice to people, they'll be nice to you. Even if they're not, who cares? You have other friends. When have you had to be extra thorough in completing tasks? During placements, because what I do makes or breaks someone's career, right? I if I rate something in someone incorrectly, or if I forget to add someone's name, they don't get placed, they don't get a job. It's their entire career we are talking about. So I deal with careers, so I have to be very thorough when I'm doing anything. What is the difference between C++ and Java? Okay, learn C++ first and then learn Java. I'll say, and you'd understand the difference. Never learn Java first and then C++, because C++ you have more functions to write. Java has more inbuilt functions, and yeah. I have scored 52% in 12th. I couldn't get placed in Mindtree or any of the big companies. Mindtree, no. You wouldn't get Mindtree because we have 60%. But there are a lot of companies that allow 50% and above. So don't worry about it. Okay. In school, I had Python, but college has programming with C. Is it difficult to move on or easy? C is tough to learn if you know Python because you're used to it. Like I said, it's a lazy language. You don't have to, you should start from C. I've been saying this. I've said it 10 times today. Yeah. Yes, said it 10 times today. Start learning with C, then go to C++, then Java, then Python, development. Meanwhile, somewhere there, learn SQL. So, yeah. What is the most important thing in your life? My dog. Which language to learn first? C. What is the best way to crack an interview? Communication, good attitude, a few skills, oops, etc. What kind of development are you currently doing? People development, career development. That's what I'm doing. All right. Any more questions? We have last 6 minutes to go. If you have any more questions, I hope this was a nice interactive session and you didn't get bored. I'm really hoping that happened. I hope it's not just, the three people I can see, Bal Gopal, Sunita, and I think there was one more person online on video. So I hope there are more people who were attentive and listening to me, because Sunita has been nicely smiling the entire session and Bal Gopal has been, nodding his head in agreement with me. So I'm hoping that Prithviraj is okay. So I'm hoping that it was a nice and interactive session and you guys learned a few things, if not too many. This was mostly to help you understand what you need to do right away. So this is where you start building yourself for your placement. Can I join IIT? Vijesh, why do you want to IIT for your masters? Yes, of course. If you want to do masters, go ahead after your bachelor's, go ahead for your master's at IIT. What one invention would I uninvent and why? Wow, that is a very tough and very interesting question, Prithviraj. Why don't you look me up on LinkedIn, Priya Sinha? You look me up, drop this question there. I'll have to think about it. It's a very interesting question. Thank you for that. Okay, my full name is Priya Sinha. I was a computer science student in Kostav, graduated 2016, been with Mindtree ever since. Which subject is difficult in 4 years? I think it's maths, and I was actually very good in maths when I was in school. I never realized how tough maths could get. And I think all networking subjects, network theory, and there was some DTD, some subject, I don't know, in third and fourth year, all networking subjects, all electronic subjects, and all. They are kind of tough. What is the best programming language? Java. I think Java would take you a long way. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Quick. Four more minutes. Any more questions? What type of projects and service based companies to work with? Jyotirmay, you have travel, transport, hospitality. You have banking, financials. You have retail projects. So there, suppose. So I'll give you an example. Now, Adidas. Yeah, everyone knows Adidas. Now they have a website where you can go purchase stuff. Yeah, you can go buy things of Adidas. Now, Adidas is not an IT company. They don't handle their website. Someone else does. So suppose they come to Mindtree or they go to Infosys that, okay, I have this website and I want people to shop from it and I want everything to go smoothly. So the IT company would provide them services. What kind? They would end to end take care of the website, its back end, its front end, how it looks, what happens when you click a certain button, what happens when you go to a certain page, navigate back. The end to end thing is managed by the IT company. Now, this is on a very small scale, I'm explaining. This happens on a very large scale. Is there any scope in Mindtree for civil engineers? I'm sorry, but it's only IT, CSE, and circuit branches. Sorry, Sunita. You're from civil engineering. Wow, a girl in civil engineering. You must get a lot of attention. If life were a video game, what two cheat codes would you want? Wow, Prithviraj, where are you coming up with these questions? Okay, what two cheat codes would I want? One, time travel. I would like to have time travel. I mean, just go back and forth. And lives. In video games, if you die, you just revive. You're revived, right? You have lives, which expire and then you have new lives after 12 hours. So I would like that. Lives and time travel. Basically, they are outsourcing their work to you. Not exactly. Outsourcing means I get a job and I give it to someone, subcontractors. That is outsourcing. But when Adidas gives me their website to manage, that is not outsourcing. But when I get something, suppose Pari sir asked me to do the session, I'm doing it, right? It's my job. If I had asked someone else to do it in my stead, but I would get paid for it and I would just give a part of my commission to the other person, that is outsourcing when there is a middleman. It's not outsourcing if you're getting it directly. What are the positions in software companies, bottom to top? Wow. Okay, you join in as an engineer, you become a senior engineer, then you become a lead. Then from a lead, you go to an associate manager, then to a manager, then from manager to an architect, from there to a senior architect. From there, it is very diverse. You can be associate director, you could be program director, you could be senior architect, all of them at the same level, but different job titles because they do different kind of jobs. What is something you usually, about yourself, you could totally brag about, but usually don't? I usually brag about me getting the first placement, but I still do I brag about it. There's nothing about me that I could brag about, but I don't. I do. I brag about it. No, okay. To get serious, I think I'm a caring person. I don't know. I like donating to animal shelters and to NGOs that help animals. This is my last question, sir. I promise I'll end up after this. To help, I have friends or I have connections with NGOs that help animals and, dogs and cats who are wounded. I do donations. I have a child fund every month. It gets from my salary, it gets deducted from my salary every month. It has been happening for 3 years now. So there's a certain amount of my salary that gets deducted every month, every year for 3 years now. And I don't brag about it because I don't think people should brag about charity that they do. I see people posting selfies about feeding kids, roadside kids at KFC. I've done it, but I don't think bragging about it is going to do anyone any good. I don't think people get inspired from other common people bragging. I think it's only influencers who can brag about it and influence other people's. I don't think if I people if I don't think if I brag about it, someone else would be influenced. So yeah, I think I do charity, but I don't brag about it. And you guys made me say it. So all right. Okay. Thank you, Prithviraj. Contact me on LinkedIn. Drop in all your questions. I'll answer all of them there. It's 11:30. It's the end of the session today. So thank you so much, everyone. It was great meeting you guys, knowing you, and sharing my experience and whatever little knowledge that I have. If you have any more questions, you can always reach me on you know. On LinkedIn. I might not be able to get you a placement right now because first years, but I might be able to help you with something probably. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
He goes.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, myself, Devidutta Pradhan. Actually, I passed in COB in 2004 in branch IT. I'm currently working as principal software engineer in Infor India Private Limited. It's a ERP product-based company located in Hyderabad. Right now, I'm located in Hyderabad, but our head branch is in New York. And I almost spent almost 12 years in IT industry. I switched many companies, many IT industry companies, starting from the CSM company, which is located in Bhubaneswar. Uh, I mainly work on .NET technologies. Right now, I'm working on all cloud technologies and artificial intelligence and ML, all the deep learning. Right now I'm working on start working on data science as a data science. I'm working a little bit on that part. Yes, and looking at the software industry and corporate culture, I'm starting background from the normal region medium school, so it's very hard for me once I switch into the corporate culture. It's very tough, but once you get used to it, and it will be fun. There is a struggle. There is a constant struggle for each day, but that is also a fun part. If there is no struggle, there is no uh, improvement from your side, then it will be boring, right? So it's a fun to be part of this corporate culture, and you learn every day. You learn something in the technology perspective. You focus on the technology perspective always because that's give you improvement on your life, right? If you know every day you know something new things, new technologies. Every day the technology is changing. From my point of view, when we work, it's normal web applications like single page ASP classes and VV6. Then we start working on .NET. Then slowly all are now in the mobile applications, IoTs. Now we are starting to the fourth generation, which is right now IoTs and artificial intelligence and ML. So it's we are in the middle of the change of the industry. So it's better we change according to that and adapt to the industry, which is a subscription model. So we need to adapt, like change the technologies. We learn every day new things, every day new change, new technology is changing. Open source is coming, and the cloud system is totally changing the whole industry. So we are adapting according to that. All the industries also, software industry is adapting to that cloud industry. Due to the lockdown also, the cloud industry is up, and every company is adapting to these cloud technologies. So I suggest you to do that cloud technologies, because that is the future right now for the software industry. And yes, from that that is from my end, from little bit discussion how the corporate culture and this one is working. Yes, the corporate culture is little bit messy, but yes, you can. There is a little hierarchy structure, and but if you want, if you're a good company, big company, the hierarchy a little bit streamlined, so you'll not feel anything. Uh, uh, I mean, like feel outsider. But if it is a small company, yeah, definitely there will be a little bit hiccups, but yeah, it will be used to it. But that's how corporate culture it works. Definitely every day it changes. The rules, regulations, all these changes. Once one company is purchased by another company, suddenly the rules and cultures will change based on that who purchased that company, right? So these things are happen, and constantly it changes, and you have to adapt. Technical side also. Uh, See, we are a product based company. Then suddenly some service based company purchased. The culture, the work culture, the way we need to address our superiors, or everything will change suddenly in one day. It will change, and we have to adapt that part. I I think I should take the more questions, right, based on whatever you expect from that, what you have. Uh, I mean, what you have right now thinking about the culture and the software industry. So you can ask me the question, so I can answer with that more. Do you have any questions, guys?
So, so what do you mean by Java?
What do you mean by Java?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Java is a platform, right? You have a language which have a platform which you can run the application, build the application, and run the application using that Java, that machine, right? The runtime, using the Java runtime, you can run the application using the Java language using the. I don't know much about the Java, but yes, there is a Java core and the advanced Java. You can build the applications using the Java language, and you can run using the Java runtime in animations, because the Java is more like popular because it is a platform independent.
Thank you, sir.
And one thing is that uh, right now the current trend is that I'll tell you one example is that before what happens is that uh, we purchase, suppose you want to deploy one web server where applications, right? You purchase that hardware, and then you deploy your applications, right? So you own that server piece of hardware for long time, right? Suppose a Flipkart. So suppose he purchased 10 servers, right? So he keep that server for 1 year, but only But in some scenarios, he can only use 2 or 3 servers because there is a very less traffic. But he can pay that another 90 servers without using that one. So what cloud is doing that is, so by auto scaling, so when there is a peak of traffic, it will automatically increase the server. So you no need to purchase and keep those 100 servers at a time. So you can keep 10 servers, and then when there is a traffic increase, like a year-end sale or something, based on the traffic, it will increase. So by looking at the traffic, the server will increase. So you'll pay very less. And one thing is, which is the current trend of the IT industry, is that we are going for unlicensed version of the server instead of Windows OS servers, which is very costly. So every application now is converting to the Angular or open source technologies like Python and all, so that we can use the Linux servers, which is having no license. So they, every company is trying to reduce the cost, right? So once you use converted our applications to a .NET Core or Angular or Python, you no need to use the Windows OS. We can use that in a Linux based server or a Fargate or anything serverless.
So, what's the difference between Java and JavaScript?
Okay, so JavaScript is more like, is a client side based, right? So you run in your browser dependent. It depends upon the browser, which browser you're using. If you say, it depends upon which version of the browser. There is much
Sir,
restrictions.
what is so what is browser? Browser, what do you mean by browser?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you know that internet, right? Okay, so your application based on, is my, I build application using the Java. You build application using ASP.NET. Somebody build application using Python. Somebody build application with Angular, right? So when you request a application which is located in some server, then the server will respond and it will render, right? It will render into a HTML format, because when you only browser understand the HTML language. So that a particular applications which renders and displays the data based on the tags, which is the HTML tags. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So how can I see the, yeah, so there is a one question, is .NET or ASP.NET is working C Sharp? Yes, yes. So mainly I work on C Sharp. Many people are working on VB.NET using ASP.NET. Right now, we are using .NET Core, which is a platform independent. So if you use the .NET Core, then you can install in many platform OS services. Like you can install in the Linux, you can install in the Mac if you use the .NET Core. Uh, the software industries is, I told you earlier, the software industry very much is in the fourth generations, which is in the subscription model, and due to the 5G and the IoTs are going to take over all the industries. So there is much, is a bigger sense, like, so now what happens is that now you can talk to your fridge, right? That is IoT devices. Now you can talk to your TV, that is IoT devices. So using the 5G, once the 5G comes in, the, all the small piece of soft applications or hardware will be connected to the internet. So that is a huge benefit for the software industry. So there is a huge potential for you guys to focus on that particular fourth generation technologies. So you can look into that rather than you build a small web application or all. So you best focus based. I suggest you focus based on the IoTs and machine learning and deep learning. What are the more important front end and back end technologies? What I can suggest is that the current trend is that the many applications based on are now developing the React, Angular. That is the front end for right now for Python, and the back end is like what I told earlier. Also, every industry is going for the unlicensed version of the software. So like Postgre is a free, open source unlicensed version of database. So many companies are using the Postgre. If you see the which companies are using the Postgre, you can see the big companies are using the PostgreSQL server. How to be more productive in less time? I hope that is regarding the application development. Yep. More productive, you need to know the tools are available in the current market. So based on looking into that, you can, but you have to be aware. All the tools are available right now in the market, which are beneficial for the development of the software. Is coding difficult to learn? No, it's very easy and fun. So I can share my current experience. I am working on a I am working on a financial applications, right? So it's very tough applications, but when my code uh, end result is actual the same number what the client expected, the number is like 0.22234, like decimal point also matches that one. That is a more satisfaction day when the my code output and the expected output is same, right? By looking at that number of calculations and all, the number is same, so that is very fun. So you guys are sir, you have all the branches, like first year, second year, third year, fourth year, all peoples are here, right? Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, what do you mean by C++? Yeah, okay. So, C++, like Java, C++ also a language. Uh, and look, like Java, it is also a object-oriented programming language, right? So, what happens is that look at the what in the evolution of the technology, digital technology, they are understand only 0 and 1, right? So the system understand only 0 and 1. So what happens is that when you instruct something to a computer, like you understand this means this, so there is a language required, right? So you when you talk to your teacher or something, you use the language English, right? So that is a medium to pass the information. Similarly, the C++ or Java, they are also a medium to pass the information to a system to understand, okay, and do the task, do the job by the system. For IIT, should I learn .NET or C Sharp? For IIT, yes, yes. .NET is also required for IoT. IoT, you no need to be learn a specific language. There is multiple languages there to be learn IoTs. Uh, main is the REST APIs, which can be built on .NET API, which can build using Angular. You can build using the Python, anything. You know the RESTful API is that. So there is a web service API. So it calls to a particular server and returns particular data to a system. You no need to be a browser. Okay. So browser normally returns and represents in a HTML format, right? For IoTs, the APIs normally returns in the JSON format or in the particular array format of text string, right? So when in your mobile applications you do something in your Facebook or something, it internally calls a particular web API and it goes to the server and returns the data in a text format, right? Text. Then the applications convert that text and display the data. What is the news feed? What is the status update? It builds on that particular applications using the REST API in output data. Yes, as the Python is the open source language. Right now, it is current trend in the software industry, and because mainly it is used currently in for data science and machine learning, deep learning. So that is more popular right now for I suggest you people start looking into the Python. That is very good language, and it's very good to put in your portfolio that you learned the Python. So Go language is important or not? I didn't get that Go language. I have no idea. Yeah, so first focus on that any OOPS language like C++ or Java so that you can learn the OOPS concept easily. Then you can transform into any other advanced language. And as I heard that the last speaker is told about the hierarchies. Yes, definitely those hierarchies are there. Once you join, you will be an associate software engineer. Based on the software company's hierarchy structure, you will change to a particular software engineer or a lead, then project lead, and then team lead, project lead, then all these managers, associate managers, software senior software manager, like that, all these things, director, senior director, all these things. For a service based, it is more like a very fast, you will get the promotions. Product based, very less, because uh, in product based, very the promotions and all these designations change very slowly. I got you guys know that service based and product based companies, right? SQL also is not free. Microsoft SQL Server is not free. So when you deploy particular applications in the server, the SQL Server license is required. From Microsoft, it is very costly. You need an enterprise server. That is very costly also because of the replication. So what can I say is that if you guys little, so there is suppose you have a applications like a banking applications, you have a one server, right? A database server. So once the database server fails, so there should be another two three servers which will be backup, right? So one server is down, then automatically another server will be there to replace that. So the user will not get any what is that delay in response. In that case, the enterprise SQL server is the only options for the uh, application. So that having the facility like always availability on, there is a replications. So once you put any data, so automatically it will replicate in more than one servers. So those type of things having in the SQL server. Obviously, you can use the SQL server Express Edition, which is free, but that is only for you to test the applications, not for the business applications. And and there is many applications which is NoSQL. So NoSQL is another trend. We can get the data using a very faster way using the NoSQL. Like your Facebook, the whole page will be saved in the database. So when you get the request for your login to your application, so automatically the NoSQL data will automatically fetch and display to you. Correct, correct. How does software just like Google earn money from ads? Uh, yes. So similarly, like you watch televisions, right? In the serials. So how a company give ads to a particular channel, right? Show me this ad in this cricket match, right? Similarly, because Google have the platform for art services and his own applications like YouTube and all these things have, so they can display their arts. Suppose if you have, you know that Google Arts is the particular application they built, so that all the advertisers they can publish their arts, so that and they can choose like, okay, in this application or in this website I want to place my art, so they can request that one. So the Google, what will Google do is that there is a publishers, like I have a website, I want to publish some arts in my website so that I can earn. um, Google will on and I'll on, right? So I'll place the Google code in my website so that Google Ads can display in my website. So based on my hits, how many views in my website, so I can earn so much, and Google also can earn so much based on that. So yeah, that's where the Google is earning that money. In YouTube, if you open a YouTube channel on your own, and you want to monetize your YouTube channels, then you can go to and get the Google code to display ads in your YouTube channel. So once any views to your channel, so Google will track that one and it will give you the money. And because Google is taking the advertisers from advertisers, he'll get some money and he'll give it to you, so he can keep that. Git is the best. Currently, I'm using Git. So Git is best because it has many integrations to the deployment. Like we have a CI/CD deployment, and which is a continuous integration and continuous deployment. So in Git laboratory and Git repository, we have a CI/CD setups. So anything, if you want, you change some code and you check in the code, right? So you push the code, then automatically it will publish to the server. So no need to you build and deploy the server. So there is no third party, no IT people will help you to deploy your code into the server. So automatically it will deploy the server. So those many facilities are there in the Git, and many applications, many softwares, like everybody is now using the Git. So you can repository, you get many sample applications you can download and you can use. Definitely Git. I can I I'm I'm using Git. I suggest Git is best. Uh, Jyotirma, I have no idea about the arts tester regarding the Facebook what they built. Definitely, but yeah, the Facebook is building something artificial intelligence, so which is already testing by Mark in his home. But due to constraint, that is not public yet. But yes, there is some technologies going on, developing is going on by Facebook. Okay, I'll give a little bit discussion about my company details. Like Info is a third largest ERP company, like enterprise company. So he builds softwares uh, for industries like uh, uh, aerodynamics industry. Like we build applications for Boeing. So that applications is responsible for like minute level from productions, like small parts to the big turbine. So it handle that applications in each stage. So it particular integrations all the parts development, what is manufacturing, and the software is handling all these things. Suppose you build a cake, right? And that industry requires a software, so we build that software. So it's like enterprise software. So when it builds the cake, so suppose there is in inventory the butter is missing, so automatically the software it will detect, okay, there is a missing. So based on these predictions, this is sort this much amount should be there. So it's like a this type of enterprise software is we built. uh, Definitely the we are behind the Oracle, and uh, but yeah, we are the third largest ERP company, and we are the first cloud based ERP company in the world. Guys, you have any questions? Okay, cloud computing and blockchain. Okay, so blockchain it is little bit complex right now to understand that. It's like integrations, like in each step there is a provisions like somebody to approve, so and somebody to de-approve. That chain mechanism is there, so that any time the cryptography is there, so very full-proof technologies to be implemented. But yes, but it is very difficult to implement right now. So many pros and cons is there. But yes, people, big companies are trying to implement these blockchain technologies. But yeah, but that there is so much pros and cons is there. So everybody is looking into that. So it is not till full mature, but is everybody is looking into that technologies. Uh, I used I completely used Amazon Cloud Services. I am a certified cloud developer. I took the course and I prepared the exam, I certified from Amazon as a cloud developer. I know a little bit of Azure, that is from Microsoft. It is similar thing. There is a particular you create a server in their instance using the virtual environment, and you run your applications. We call that in AWS, we call that EC2 instance, but Azure may be something different. But yeah, both are same, but terminology is different, but the cloud architecture is same. So you have to enter to make money in billion in less time. No, I don't think so. There is any industry you can make billions in less time, or else everybody will be billionaire about the right time. Okay, I can explain a little bit of cloud technologies like what we did in the AWS, Amazon Web Service. Amazon Web Service is like a top in the cloud service provider. So it's like a virtual. Like you don't know where my server is, right? So uh, you request a server, it will create in a virtualization of a server, actual server. So in an actual server, you may have your server and somebody have also another server. It's like a virtual engine is there. So it create a multiple servers on that top of that. That particular EC2 instance, we call that Elastic Compute Cloud. You may have know the terminology. Elastic Compute Cloud, we call EC2 instances. Those are normal servers, right? So you can go there. I can say you can go right now and create your free tier account. You can create your EC2 instance right now. That is a free for 1 year. You can try on that. So those are the servers you can try login and you can build your application. You can deploy your application. There are many services in cloud. Like we want to storage services, like we have a S3, like a simple storage service by AWS. You can place your files, many files in these services, and you can use that one for any time, anywhere you can use that S3 services. Because the cloud is very good is that they have a particular data centers in India. Right now, there is in the Mumbai is having AWS data centers, and maybe sooner they're going to working on that to be build another data center in Hyderabad. So in all over world, they have a data centers. So they are well linked to each other. So they are linked to each other. So when you build the application and deploy application, the AWS will take care of this networking and the bandwidth, everything they'll take care for. Take care. So you no need to bother about as a industry, as a software industries, they don't need to bother about the networking or the bandwidth because they don't have time. So they are cutting the networking part and they are focusing on developing new technologies rather than focusing on the networking and bandwidth issues, right? So those things the cloud is helping them uh, right now. Because of the cloud, even I work from home without any issues because my systems are not in my office. My systems are in the somewhere in the cloud. I can log into my server and I can work and deploy my applications. Those the times, those things are helping us many in the in big industries right now. Mm, Uh, yes, in cloud service, many applications are monetized based on many things like EC2 instance. What is a normal server is based on like how many months you are using that one, and many service like REST APIs and S3s. How many times you are calling to that and getting the files, right? So based on that they are using, and based on the services it depends upon how they are charging, but it's very less for compared to you own a particular server and maintain that, and that cost compared to the cloud cost is less, almost same. Yeah, I can say almost same, but it's headache less to be maintained in the cloud rather than maintained in the on-prem. Yeah, somebody's trying to say something. NoSQL doesn't have to prevent schema is a problem. Obviously, there is a there is a both like pros and cons. Uh, because there is a no schema, like no, it's not a RDBMS, like not a relational, so that you can get the data faster, right? So look at that Twitter or Facebook. They have huge data, billions of data injecting to the server, but they can't process using the RDBMS. So you can see when you chat or you post something, there is a huge comments. Like look at that, how many people are using Facebook and how many people are posting their comments. So isn't very like impossible to use the relational database and fetch the data and display into the user page, because once you do that, like billions of data comments are there in a particular table, so you can join using the main table onto that table and fetch the data. It will be very impossible. So that's why the NoSQL is came into picture, and to without schema and paste the data into particular applications. Similarly, Angular also did the same thing. Like Angular is built by the Google, right? So what happens is that your application, you build applications looking into particular specific browser, but when that application you open in your mobile, then it deteriorates the layout and everything. That's why the Angular came into picture, that it can support in any platform, like in your tablet, in your phone, in your laptop, or even in your TV. You can browse that application and it will work. There is no problem in that. It's a single page application. In Angular, you have a single page. The URL will be stay same, but internally it will change. There is no HTML files. It will just a JavaScript that it can render into the HTML. No, no, that you should not learn networking first or cloud computing. Uh, for cloud computing, you should not learn. It's not a mandatory to learn networking. Uh, but what is your goal? If you want to be a cloud developer, then no need of networking. But if you are a cloud networking part, then you should learn the networking first little bit. But as a developer, software developer, you no need to know anything regarding the networking in the cloud computing. So that's the beauty of that cloud computing. So they can understand the AWS, the Amazon people will already build that networking part. You just go there and use that servers and all. It's a framework. It's a JavaScript framework built on JavaScript. That framework, and it's not a software. It's a JavaScript framework based on the Node.js and TypeScript. You can use the TypeScript as a language, and you can build applications. Yeah, that's what I told you, right? They have the art because doing that art advertisements, they are getting the money. They don't they because they are giving the free service. You are the prime the users are their prime resource, right? Using our using you, they are getting the money. So how many users they have, they can publish to the advertisers, like, see, if I have this many users which is login every day, this is my graph, you can see the analytics, these many people are login every day. So if you place your art, these many people can view my art, view your art. So based on that, they quote the advertise cost, and they'll get that money. Similar, like in your city, the billboard, right? So whatever the roadside, the boards are the advertised boards. So based on the locations, like in if you go there in PMG Square or Rajmahal Square, based on that prime locations, they're getting the money more. So if you advertise in that board, it will be more costly rather than if you stay in remote areas, the advertised cost will be very less on that place. So based on that, so user how much user traffic comes to a particular website. So based on that, they'll quote. Like if you see, they say that okay, this particular YouTube channel, the users are coming more, the views are more. So they'll increase the price. If you advertise on this particular YouTube channel, then it will be more price. So based on that, they'll get the more commissions, and they'll get the more money. Similarly, they are looking into the WhatsApp right now. They are unable to monetize the WhatsApp, but yeah, sooner they're going to monetize the WhatsApp as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Proceed.
Proceed, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir, for that introduction. And hello, everyone. And I hope you all are doing well during this pandemic. And once again, I'd like to congratulate you all for having enrolled in your undergrad studies. Mrityunjay sir and Subrat sir reached out to me if I will be willing to give a talk to you all during your induction program. And I was glad to have this opportunity to be able to speak to you all, and I'm really excited to answer any of your questions. My name is Richa Mishra, and I am here today to talk to you all a little bit about my experience and how my journey has been. And I am currently working as a data scientist in hardware systems engineering at Facebook. And now you must be wondering why I am here and how am I talking to you guys in your induction program week.
So, exactly 10 years ago in 2010, I was in the same place as you. I was just starting out my undergrad degree at Cost of Group. And I was somewhat clueless about my future and what the next 4 years held for me. And most of you must have those questions today. And hopefully, a few parts of my journey can help inspire some of you. Hoping this works out well for you guys as well. So I took this opportunity to come and talk to you all as I would have talked to my 18-year-old self, since I had so many questions back then, and I wished someone would have talked to me in the same perspective. I'm not here today to give a boring inspirational speech because you've already had a lot of them throughout this week, I'm sure. But definitely, I want to share my journey so that you can take some parts of it which can inspire your journey as well. Having said that, although for many people, you have already picked this degree of engineering and you have pursued this career, you are already inspired by a lot of people and things around you that you wanted to pursue this as your career. Although for many, the reason might be because their elder brother and sister did it, or because their family wanted them to do it, or because you actually have a passion in the field and you really want to pursue it. Having said that, trust me when I say that in these next 4 years, this is going to be the most amazing time for you. And make sure it is. And the college is going to provide all the opportunities for you to make it the best possible. Coming back to my story, I took the inspiration of getting into this field back when I was in high school and further pursued it in order to achieve some of the goals that I had set for myself. And the more familiar I became with science and technology, I just wanted to be a small spot on the huge canvas of engineering in a broad scope. So here are a few things that I would like to share with you all. And I wish someone had told me at the start of my degree, be very curious, build things, be interested in learning new things. And throughout the 4 years, you will have multiple courses and you'll be taking different types of courses across all these different backgrounds that you must have chosen, whatever be your stream, electrical, computer, or any of them. And during my final year, from my experience, I had taken one class under Subrat sir, which was the radar class. And I was thinking, this is my final year. And the first class struck me as to, this is something new. And there is so much more out there for me to still go and learn. And that's where I pursued my passion of doing my further higher studies. So a little bit about that journey. I finished my undergrad, did my bachelor's in electronics and telecommunications. Further, I went to Accenture, worked there for about 2 years. Then on, I went to do my master's in the US, which I had always aspired to do. And it was in the field of electrical and computer engineering in San Diego State University in the US. And once I finished that, I started working at Qualcomm for about 2 years. And now since a year, I've been working at Facebook. This whole journey, I think, was a culmination of everything that I did throughout my engineering, my interests, and my family being very supportive about all the dreams that I had aspired for. And having said that, it's really important that whatever be your coursework, your interest should be something that is deciding what should your future be. And if you think you want to change your track at any point, or there is some other kind of learning that you want to do, you'll have enough opportunities for that. The reason I say that is because throughout college, you'll also have a lot of opportunities apart from your coursework through tech fests or through different events where you can meet up with other people or apply the innovation or learnings that you seek. And those will be the opportunities where you'll be able to apply whatever you're learning on with your hands-on experience. Always take those opportunities because that's what is going to be the teaching factor for you. And you always have all your teachers to ask questions, and never feel shy to ask even the silliest questions, because the people beside you are going to be as clueless as you when you think about it. So make sure you're doing that, and don't shy away from something just because you think you may not be doing it right. So for example, if you think public speaking is something like a fear to you, there will be a lot of opportunities, extracurricular activities where you can take part in all of them. Never miss out on those, and try them out, because that is going to be something that's going to last for long. And I cannot emphasize enough on how these soft skills and communication skills are going to help you in the future as well. Having said that, you will also have opportunities for projects, internships. So, be it in college or outside of college, always be open to those opportunities because those are going to shape you and your experience. And there's no better way to do that learning. And the last thing is networking. Make sure that your LinkedIn network is also as active as your Facebook or Instagram network because that goes a long way. And yeah, I think that's a little bit about myself. And I would like to open it for any questions if you all have any. Okay, I can see a few questions in the chat. So, no, I am a 2014. Yes, I am a 2014 graduate. No, it's San Diego State University, SDSU, which is basically in San Diego, California. So the two questions were, ma'am, are you a 2014 graduate and are you a graduate of Stanford? No. Anything else? How to do internship with Microsoft or Facebook in third semester? Okay. So when it comes to internships within India, we had started applying in like our first year and second year. And during your summers, make sure that you have that LinkedIn network active, or if you have seniors working in any of them, feel free to reach out to any of your college alumni if you find them on LinkedIn and talk to them. Use the network through your teachers because they will be very happy to direct you if they know someone who has been working over there. And you can always reach out to them for any referrals or if they can give you any tips on how to do those internships. But even apart from that, I think it's really good if you are doing any kind of online courses. Don't limit yourself just to your coursework, especially if you are in electrical engineering and you think that not learning a programming language is not necessary. I think that might be something that will hinder you. Don't stop yourself from learning anything new, or if you find an opportunity and you get to learn something just for that. So if a position requires C programming, always go for it. Give it a try if you might want to try it out. There are plenty of online options as well. If you want to try them, do those. What were the projects in Qualcomm like? So I was working as a data scientist in infrastructure at Qualcomm, and which basically means we had a lot of servers in Qualcomm, and I was supposed to build any kind of health and monitoring pipelines to make sure those servers are working fine, which goes very close to me because I was working on electronics and the different parts of a server. And on a very low level, I could relate to that. And while I was working on the data aspect of it, which I picked up during my career, I picked up stats and maths. I got those opportunities. I was also able to apply them while I was working at Qualcomm. So those were some of them. You are in which domain in Facebook? I work for the hardware systems engineering team as a data scientist, which is basically all the infrastructure that Facebook owns. So basically all the apps that we have, so Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, all of them run on across a huge number of servers. And we need to make sure that the health of those servers is reliable and sustainable. That's the part where I work on machine learning and building predictive models to make sure I can predict any kind of failures or try to understand what the pattern is for failures across those servers. So that is a little brief background of what I do. Ma'am, after completing MCA, which platform is suitable for us? I'm not sure about that question, but if you think computer science is what you are going to pursue, that might be something that will take some of your background from MCA as well. And you can take that combination and apply it during your engineering, you'll be learning a lot about different courses. So you'll have databases, you'll have different types of programming languages. I think you can always try out all of those subjects and see what interests you the most. What is the role of a data scientist in Facebook? So, like you all know, Facebook has a huge family of apps that is being supported by all of these different servers. And for me specifically, I am working on the server side. But data scientists in general, not just in Facebook, but across the world, they have the work of mining and munging huge amounts of data. And when I talk about data, it means there are billions of users on these social media platforms. There is a billions of content that is out there, be it on Google or LinkedIn. So anywhere you see anything related to data, that's where data scientists come in to bring in the intelligence. Just imagine of it this way. If there are tasks that you do on a daily basis and you don't want to do it, but rather you might want a script to make it do, you have a script which is basically going to see all the historical information of how you have been doing it every day. So you are basically feeding it that, okay, every day I come and make this click and it does these few tasks. And you can just write a script for it so that it can go through them. Yes, SQL is one of the ways in which we store the data and we are able to access it, and we use it predominantly. When scrolling through Instagram, do you prefer celebrity posts or the ones from your friends? I think that's a very interesting question. Currently, I'm not liking all my friends' posts because I feel like it's very flooded with all marriage posts, and I don't know how safe it is during the times of COVID. But I think I like both of them. I like staying in touch with my friends, especially because I'm in the US and most of my friends are in India right now. It really helped me look at all of their social posts. Is GraphQL a blend of Excel and SQL? I think it would be beyond that. You can think of GraphQL as, so you have query languages, but you don't have many different ways of connecting databases. So for example, you have relational databases in which you have these individual ways of looking at data. So an Oracle database or a MySQL database, these are some ways of looking at it. GraphQL takes it a step further, where you can basically use like MapReduce functions and basically like a Hive database and Presto database is what we generally try to use in a distributed system. A distributed system is basically where you don't have to look at individual entities of data entry, but rather when you have many different attributes of data, that's where you can bring in GraphQL. It's going to help you visualize your databases and different parts of it, as well as look at data holistically. What is the best time to do internship? I think you should do it as soon as possible, as soon as you get your the first exposure or the opportunity that comes across. Because so for me, during my second year, my parents were living in Africa, and that's where I got a chance to go over there. And there was a telecommunications company where I did an unpaid internship. And it doesn't matter because all you have to do is get a learning process. And that's where these internships are going to be the most helpful way for you, mostly because you are able to interact with people in the industry. And there's no better way to learn than that. So I think whichever comes to you first, pursue it and then see how much you like it. Because till the fourth year, you will have ample opportunities. And you will definitely be able to learn more about what interests you the most. Ma'am, from core background, can you study data scientist? I am a living example of how you can bring in any kind of new courses together. So when I was doing my undergrad, my core background was electronics and telecommunications. We had courses of C programming and C++ and data structures. But while doing that, no one has a clue while we're doing our degree as to what is going to be our future or where we're going to work at. But I think towards the end, when I got the opportunity at Accenture, I got my first exposure of working as a software engineer. And that's where I really got interested in the field, and I had some kind of some exposure on the industry level how it works. Then after I came to the US to do my masters, and that's where I took a few statistics classes. I was really interested in them, and that's where it takes a blend between like your coding languages and your statistics background. At Qualcomm, I again got the opportunity during my internship to work in the same field, and that's where I felt like it's the best way to go. And while working, I was able to learn as well. So these were like a few points of my life where I could take up a new opportunity. Had it been someone who would have rejected those opportunities because they did not want to learn, that was a possibility. But definitely, since I was willing to take those and those looked like something that I wanted to pursue, I went on for them. So yeah, definitely, if you have interest in something, pursue it. There are enough courses for you online. There is enough inspiration around you. Take guidance from your seniors, and pursue it if you are really interested in it, in the coursework. How did you get into the data scientist? I think I covered most of that, but yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Ma'am, what is Facebook Pixel? I think that's Google Pixel, but yeah, you might be talking about Facebook Portal, which is basically a video calling hardware that we have right now, and you must try it if you can. It's really good if you want to try it out with your family. Okay, another interesting question. Would you rather, just a moment, I think my computer, yeah. Would you rather win $10,000 or let your best friend win $100,000? I think I would let my best friend win $100,000 and we can split it into 50-50. So that works best. Does Facebook provide internships in India? I think the Facebook careers page might have more information about it. Definitely, there are there. The internships are there, and the HRs are constantly looking out for interns. But if you find something, definitely pursue it. And yeah, there's always those opportunities there. Any other questions? I don't see anything in the queue right now. Is there an app you hate, but you still use it anyway? No, I don't think I use. I don't even waste the space of my phone on an app I hate. Out of all the companies you worked for, which one was the most productive or beneficial for you? I don't think there's like every company has its own challenges which bring out the best in you, give you enough learning opportunities. And since currently I'm at Facebook, I would say I'm learning a lot every day. So I'm just very curious in this process, and I've been having a great experience. So for now, it's just I'm doing the best work I can every day. How does Facebook collect data from users? I think there can be a very long explanation to that. But yeah, I think most of the user data is it's hidden from the rest of the engineers. I'm not sure how exactly that works. I'm mostly on the hardware side. Ma'am, from which section of ETC branch in 2014? So I was in KIST. I actually don't remember the section, but I think it was the ETC section. So yeah, I actually don't remember which section it was. I'm sorry. As a data scientist using predictive models, how and what you predict something? Okay, so I think the question is, what do we exactly predict using predictive models? So I'll give you an example in layman terms. So just imagine you have your laptop and you have applications running on it 24/7. You basically collect all of this data of all the applications that are running, and there are different parts in your laptop that are running at different efficiency. So be it like your memory, your different chips, or like the different parts of your laptop and how they are getting utilized for each of those applications. You collect that data for one whole year, and based on that, you are able to predict using one of those models when your motherboard is going to fail. So that is one example, one layman example of how the predictive models work. Okay, if life were a video game, what are the 2 cheat codes you want? Oh my God, that's a tough question. I think one would be to meet my parents anytime I want. And second would be, I think coffee should be free. So yeah, those are the 2 cheat codes. Is there any monetization policy like YouTube? There's a whole team which works on policy making. So be it content policy or user policy across all of these different companies, especially for these application companies, they have a policy making team which is constantly working and evolving to do that. So that comes as a part of one of those teams, and probably they would have some more insight on it. But yeah, definitely it is standard across all of these companies. What motivates you to work hard? The fact that the harder I work, the luckier I get. That motivates me to work hard. What is your package now, ma'am? It's a good number, enough decent number. Would you rather never be able to explain yourself correctly or always have to tell the exact truth? I would prefer explaining myself correctly. Who is your inspiration? No, I mean, I won't say like it's not just an inspiration, but I call my dad the captain of my boat. So he has always made sure that he has prodded me to go for my dreams and dream big. Never have self-doubt. And anytime if I have any self-doubt, he's just a phone call away to tell me how good I am or how much more I should be doing or where I should be headed. So yeah. Sorry, I missed your introduction, ma'am. Can you please give it again? So I'm an ex-student. I graduated in 2014 from KIST, and I was a student in electronics and telecommunications. And I'm here today to speak to you all in your induction week. And currently, I'm a data scientist in hardware systems engineering at Facebook. What is one invention you would uninvent? Nothing. I think all the inventions are great. There's nothing I regret. Some words on BTech courses. Okay, so this was going to be one of the things. I definitely cannot tell you anything about what the first semester exams are going to be like, what the questions are going to be like. But first year is going to give you a taste of everything, which is very important. And for me personally, I see it very closely because it doesn't matter what background or what stream you come from. Because I work every day with not just computer science engineers, not just electrical engineers, but there are people from mechanical engineering, civil engineering. On a regular basis, we talk to them. So always have that aspect of learning, not just from your stream, but also have some familiarity about what other streams also entail and how they can come together. So I think for your entire bachelor's program, that's something that is going to prevail. And throughout your first year, you will have different moments of feeling like this is too much, I'm getting too overwhelmed, and this is probably not the right course for me. Trust me, it's going to make sense someday, because if it doesn't right now, there is at some point in your life that education, that knowledge is going to come to help for you. It may not be on a big scale, but at some level, it's going to help you. What was your role in Accenture? So I was working as a software engineer, and I was working for an American company, which was basically the electricity and utilities client that we had. And I was working on like pipelining and building their databases and working more on visualizing their data and maintaining those pipelines. So basically, we were collecting all of the data of the users and their usage of electricity, and making sure that we are able to provide as much service, and the billing is done correctly, and building more robust pipelines around that. I have an interest in data science. Will definitely. I'm so happy that something inspired you, that you'll give it a try. What are the components of data science? Currently, the way data science is evolving, there are many parts that it entails. But I think the few basics are going to be like learning the coding language, be it Python, be it SQL, you can pursue any of them. And then there are aspects of analytics, visualizations, machine learning. These are some basic components of it, but definitely there's a whole sea out there if you go out and look for the resources and the course books. Anything else? According to you, which company makes the best mobile processors? Yeah, Apple, Samsung, or Qualcomm. I think I'm a little bit biased towards Qualcomm because of my experience, but yeah, I think 5G is doing great. Is it good to have MTech after BTech or get a job, do it in between? Have some words on the basis of package and growth. So for me, I had initially, when I started out during engineering, my goal was to go for my higher studies immediately after that. But a lot of times people doubted. They're like, okay, you just finished your bachelor's. I don't think you're even going to study any further. And probably that's true to some extent, because it's going to be a very, very overwhelming task, and engineering is a difficult degree, and you need a lot of dedication and hard work throughout that process. Even apart from the last minute cramming before the exams, it's still going to be a lot of exams. But I think if you really want to do your master's, you should have that basic interest in your field. You might have plenty of subjects. If you are interested in that one subject in which you think that you want to spend your next 2 years doing any kind of research or just studying further, definitely try out for your MTech. I think in terms of getting a job, if you are thinking for career and growth and package, you're going to have ample chances with your placements and everything to try out a job. And the best part about this is something that I also did. I wanted to try out how the industry works and just get an experience before I start out for my master's. I think that is something that is never going to be harmful. So even if it's a 1-year experience, that is something that will last you for a long time, even if you study after that. So definitely try it out if you think career aspirations are something that you want to immediately take after undergrad. But having said that, if during your job you feel like there is more you have to learn during your masters or pursue your subjects further, definitely go for it. And you will have to make that time on the side to pursue that. But that's not going to be a big deal if you're passionate enough to study further. Can you say how to integrate web, Android with machine learning? For example, Netflix, Spotify, YouTube. When we talk about integrating web and Android technology with machine learning models, I think a lot of people have different notions about machine learning models. And I was having a discussion about this just last week with my colleague. Half the people in the world think machine learning is going to take away their jobs. And second half of the world think machine learning is going to solve everything in the world, including cancer. And that is where I feel like it is something that is inherently dependent on the use case. So when you say integrate web and Android technology with a machine learning model, you really have to understand what your use case is going to be. So if you are doing just a web scraping or getting all of the data from different web pages and then building out something, so be it like a travel page or be it a page about food, and you just want that data, that might be something that you are using your machine learning to model to train on. So it can be image classification, it can be recipes that you are using, or just different clothing sites that you are taking the data from. And if you're taking Netflix and Spotify and how the usage of those people are, who are the subscribers or users in any of those sites, it's going to be something that is the user related. And in those cases, that is something that is collected on an every minute level. And it entails many challenges right from the data pipelining level up until having the analytics and the machine learning models around it. So it really depends on the use case and how you want to implement it and what is going to be the impact out of it. Because especially in the industry, you cannot deploy something for just without the understanding of how much change it is going to bring to a company. So that's an example. Ma'am, what's your proudest accomplishment? So I had set this goal for myself that when I finish my master's, I want to make my mom and dad come here during my graduation and take them to Niagara Falls. And that is my proudest accomplishment. How much is Facebook dependent on AI in day-to-day work, and how does Facebook use it? Currently, there's a lot of research in the field of AI. And when I talk about AI, it's not just on the product level. Even within the company, like you just mentioned, I can give example on my end. So within infrastructure, we want to implement as much AI as possible. So how much servers do we think in the next 10 years we might require? Or how can the speed of all of these services be increased by using artificial intelligence, and what are the different servers that can use these inference and accelerators to understand them, AI working in any of these services. So that's one example of how like different teams use it. But even apart from that, just doing like image recognition and just like getting an understanding of how we can best use all of the data that we already have, which is a humongous amount when it comes to servers. Being able to process that using AI would be something really helpful for us, because we spend hours and hours just to optimize these things and make sure that these servers work at maximum efficiency. So that's one of the examples. Ma'am, suggest.
Thanks, Devi.
हाँ sir. I think this is the last question. Suggest some ways to do well on Maths 3 networking. I think really follow the coursework that the teachers are sharing in the class right now. They are here to help you. They will give you all the guidance possible for the exams. Look at previous year's questions and see how the patterns are and what you can understand from them. But conceptually, make sure that you're very strong and you understand what is being taught and the different techniques in each of them. Maths 3, you'll have to practice a lot. I cannot emphasize enough on how difficult it is going to be. But yeah, I think practice throughout the semester for that. That's not going to work with the last minute preparation. Sir, ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ question କରିଦେବି ନା ଥିବ?
Richa, you can proceed with it.
Okay. Why Python is specifically used to work on machine learning? Why not other languages? It's a good question, actually. I think a lot of interviews also ask this question. So Python is basically going to be very fast for you if you're looking for something that is lightweight. And for me personally, I really like it because it has everything integrated where I can take in different amounts of data, work with data frames using scikit-learn, NumPy, which are the different libraries on Python, as well as integrate them with like visualization, which is a key part of it. If I can look at my data and immediately process that. So I think that's one of the advantages. Mm, yes. So it's regression type of model used in projects such as matrix factorization, regression, or something highly statistical. Regression is something really common. We see it almost every day, and that's going to be one of the basic models. And yeah, definitely learn more about it. How did the Facebook platform enhance your usage of Facebook? I think just on the app right now, it's very convenient for posts and stories. I really like stories, so I think that's one additional advantage. Yeah, I think what's your Instagram ID? I think I have my LinkedIn network ID. Definitely connect with me over there, and I'd be very happy to guide you. Do we have to be really good at maths to have a career in data science? I think there are some basics in statistics which you should have an understanding of in order to work in data science, because it requires those concepts even if you don't need them every day. These are like few basic things that like mean, median, average, and like taking different values like P90 and like what percentiles mean, why you would use them. I think those are some basics that you should know about. And later on, like while you're working, you can keep on learning. Yep, I think that's the last question. Oh, there's one more. Would you purchase books, movies, or music if you saw that your friends bought them? What if you knew that they were getting commission every time you bought them? I think I would buy whatever I like. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Namrata. That's very sweet of you. From where did you learn data science and how much time it took you to? I won't say I'm still a master at it. I'm still learning every day, and I don't know what the next 4 years hold for me. But yeah, I think during my school and taking courses in different subjects like image classification and doing those machine learning models, learning Python across different courses, that's where I had the interest and I started learning about it. Okay, so I think that is about it. Yeah, and my LinkedIn name is Richa Mishra. Thank you so much, Subrat sir, Mrityunjay sir. I'm really glad to be here today and very happy to talk to everyone.
Yes. Thank you, Richa, for your time.
No problem.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. So
Thank you,
it was
ma'am.
nice listening to. Yeah. Please mute your audio. So many thanks to Richa for our valuable time. So yesterday when we requested her to address all of you, immediately she agreed. And I know that Richa was a very sincere student during her undergraduation time and very active. Okay, even so from that time also we are very sure that she will definitely achieve her goals, and she has achieved that. So she has made all of us proud, and not only Richa, all the students, many students of that time, particularly KIST, they are in very good positions right now, and so it makes all of us very proud. So once again, Richa, many thanks to you, and I'm sure that your address, your talk will be definitely beneficial for our students, and in the future also, all of you, if you want any help from Richa, you can contact her and you can interact with her, and she will definitely guide all of you. Okay, and many thanks to all the speakers in today's morning session, Priya, Richa, and Mr. Devidutta. So all of them were very nice. I mean, their address was very nice and it's very resourceful. So Thank you all. And Parthav, please end this session. Okay. Richa, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Very happy to be here. Thanks, everyone.
So right
Welcome,
now,
ma'am.
what is the time in West, Richa?
Thank you, ma'am.
Richa?
It's 11:30 p.m. So Ratri
Oh,
Saturday.
okay. So we have ended. So we have ended in time, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Parthav, please take over. Parthav, just 1 second. So I forgotten actually. You should give special thanks to our Mr. Mutunja Padi. It is because of his effort we could get Priya and Richa. So Padi, are you there? I think Padi is there or Padi?
Yes, sir. I'm there.
Padi?
Sir, I'm
Okay.
there.
So many thanks to you. Yes. So it is because of the effort of our Padiavu, Mr. Mutunja Padi, we could able to get. Yes.
Yeah, Mishra, your student. Actually, I had communicated with her, and she gave me a call today and wanted a slot. Because she is a trainer for the IBM recruitees, and she could have been a great resource for us. But unfortunately, I think we don't have any slots for her. If at all anything can be done, if you can give me a slot, I will come.
Yes, it will be done. I think let us discuss in this afternoon. Today's afternoon, we will see. If possible, after Mr. Bhavani's talk, we can give a slot to Richa. To Smita. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
If she is interested, definitely we will give a slot. We will give a slot.
But she would be a great resource for us because she is the trainer for the IBM recruit.
Yes, definitely. We will discuss and we will give a slot. I think Parthav, after this meeting, we will have a discussion and we will give a slot to Smita. Okay. Okay, please carry.
Thank you, sir.
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 Thank you, sir.